y'all, and welcome to today's video. I'm going to be creating 2 looks using my collection with Unearthly. I'm so excited about this. I've already uploaded a ton of looks for y'all, but I wanted to create a couple of looks with my palette that are a little less dramatic than what I normally go for, a little more toned down, if you will. I hate the word wearable. I hate the word wearable because anything is wearable if you wear it. I love wearing my bold, dramatic, intense looks all throughout my life. So those looks are wearable too. But I do want to show you some ways to use this palette that maybe aren't so intense. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do 2 looks. Let's jump into it. Okay, y'all, getting started. I do have 5 looks, I believe, already here on my channel. I have a whole video, if you have not seen it, talking about my collection with Unearthly. I have my Resurgence palette, I have a highlighter duo, and I do have a lip gloss. So I won't spend too much time talking about it. I will go ahead and just insert a quick clip of all the products and everything swatched out so that you can see. But I will also link down below my reveal video where I'm talking about it all, my 3 looks video, a get ready with me where I use this, and a shorts that I did. So I do have 5 looks up on my channel, and then we're gonna do 2 more today. I'm super excited. Of course I love this. Of course I love this. It was super important to me to create products that were true to me, but I also felt like anybody could use, no matter your skin color, no matter your preference. Like, I wanted to create something fun. Of course, I know not everybody's gonna love everything, but like, I love it, and I wanted to create something that I thought y'all would really love as well. So I'm very excited about this. This collection is launching on May 25th. I will put all the information down in the description box for y'all, so definitely check there if you're curious. But we're going to do a look that's a little more muted. So what I'm going to do is zoom y'all in and nice and close so we can work on the eyes, and we will create. I'm excited. I'm going to throw down my eyeshadow primer. I always use an eyeshadow primer. I have deep set eyes. I have oily skin. I'm always using a primer. So I'm going to go in with my Sigma eyeshadow base primer in the shade Ignite, and we will play with this palette. Okay, so before we get started, I do want to say that I don't have on highlighter. I have on a single blush from Unearthly. I have on the shade Bloom. Now, codes will not apply to my collection. The full collection will be available where you can get the palette, the highlighter duo, and the lip gloss. Or you could just get the palette. It will be available individually, but the gloss and the duo are exclusive to the set. Now, when I'm looking at colorful shades like this, but I want to create something that's not super intense, I try to not take the color up too far. I really love, like I said, dramatic looks. I like to kind of blow out the color, but I still think there is a way to use color and keep it maybe a little lower on the eye to where it's not so intense, it looks a little more subtle. So that's what we are going to do today. We're going to keep the color a little bit low, but we're still going to have fun with color. Now, I definitely think there are some shades in here that if you want to kind of steer away from color, you can definitely go in with my beautiful gray right here. Very, very cool toned gray that does not show up ashy no matter your skin tone. So pigmented and beautiful, and Cerambus. And then I also have the shade Jewel, which is like this, it's such this beautiful shift. But if you just want to put this all over the lid as kind of a one and done shade, one shadow, this one, you're gonna have this orangey, red, pinky, bronzy, copper subtle shift shade where you could just put that on in mascara and you still have something that looks special and interesting on the eyes without being overpowering and in your face. Of course, I do have a satin white. I mean, any of these shades, use how you want. I'm just throwing out some recommendations, maybe some suggestions for you. And then again, if the color story does feel overwhelming, definitely split this palette in half. Look at your cool tones up here, look at your warm tones down here. We do have also like really nice layouts in the quads. Lots of fun. But yeah, I wanted to throw that out there. Now I've talked long enough. Let me put on the eye primer and we'll create. Okay, so I went ahead and put down my primer, and what I want to do is kind of mix shadows. So if you're looking at this palette, I have a red and a blue. That was super important to me when I was like dreaming up this palette. I was like, I want a white, a black, a red, a blue, and I really wanted the red and the blue to be matte because I wanted you to be able to mix these super easily and create a custom color. I do have, I think it's in my 3 looks video, I'm showing you mixing these two to create a purpley shade. So definitely don't be afraid to mix these. This white is a satin, which I love. I don't think Unearthly has any other satins in their line. I may be wrong, but I feel like it's like an underrated formula. So you can mix it with these, you can mix it with the black, with the sparkle, whatever you want to do. Just don't be afraid to mix your shades is where I'm coming from. But what I want to do today is I want to mix this pink in Nymph. And I want to mix it with my satin shade. Say that 3 times fast. But I want to start with Nymph. So I'm going to pick this up. This is a small Unearthly brush. And I will say too, if you're trying to do looks that are colorful and you don't want to get carried away and have them be super duper intense or really blown out, think about the brushes you're selecting. Try to select brushes that are a little smaller so that you don't just buff and kind of lose control of your look. So what I'm doing here is I'm just taking this Nymph shade and I'm going to go in with little bits at a time. Again, I don't want to kind of lose control of this shade. And I'm just going to press this right into the socket. I'm not going to take it up too much higher than that. And then I'm also going to put it on the lid. Again, I'm just working in little bits at a time. Okay, once I have that Nymph shade down how I want it, I'm going to dip into Life, my satin. And I'm not going to put this on the lid, but what I am going to do is layer this right on top of Nymph where I kind of have it in the socket. And again, I'm going to be working slowly so that the shade doesn't get away from me, but this is going to put a really pretty kind of finish right in here. It's going to soften that shade a bit and give me exactly what I want. Exactly what I want. Now, if you have a different eye shape from me, you can totally adjust this how you like. If you like to kind of bring it up more, if you want to keep it even lower, if you want to just keep it focused more on the lid, you can do that. I'm just slowly layering and blending. Okay, so you can see just kind of how layering the shade Life on top of Nymph kind of softened it, diffused it, made it look not as intense where we have it there kind of in the socket. Not done yet, but I just wanted to show you kind of side by side. Okay, now what I want to do in the outer corner is kind of what we did here, but in reverse. So instead of going in with Nymph and then layering on Life, the white, I want to go in with Beetle, the black, and then go in with Nymph on top. So instead of going like mid-tone to light tone, now we're going to go dark to lighter. And I'm going to be very gentle with Beetle because it is pigmented. So I'm picking it up on this little brush from my Sigma set. I'm going to look down and I have picked up the smallest amount of Beetle, not a ton, and I'm going to press it on exactly where I want it because we can blend it out with Nymph in just a bit. So you see how this is coming together to still be like an interesting look, but also not too dramatic, in my opinion, for what I like. Of course, a colorful look. I mean, it's not like neutral beige or brown shadows, of course, but I just want to show you like some less in your face ways to wear color. Okay, now that I have that beetle shade how I want it, I'm gonna go on top with Nymph. I'm gonna press first, and then I'll slowly start to blend, and that way we kind of have this black pink mixture. It's gonna kind of soften up beetle, gonna kind of buff away that sparkle and still give us like light to dark, because I do really like that. I kind of like a dark outer corner. So I'm just gonna focus on slowly blending without letting this shade come too far out. Okay, I'm really pleased with how this is looking. I really like the way I've mixed the shades. Happy with it. I want to go in with Jewel. I gotta use it. I want to layer it on top of Nymph. I've got this picked up on an Unearthly brush. Very fluffy to help me kind of like disperse some of that sparkle. And I'm just tapping it onto the lid off of my brush. And then I'll kind of blend after I tap. Okay, I've got Nymph on my Sigma brush, and I'm gonna keep this right at the lashes. I'm not going to blend this too far down. And if you want to skip shadow on the lower lash line, do you. Still gonna be a beautiful look. I just wanna take this pink here, not mixed with anything, just on its own, and keep it right here at the lash line. Okay, I am very pleased with how our look is coming together, but I do want to add in highlight. Now, I could definitely use any shade for my inner corner. I could use Life, I could use whatever, but I want to dip into my highlighter duo. So these highlighters, definitely shifty. You could see the shifts. They're really special, very sparkly, but very beautiful on the skin. One for deeper skin, one for lighter skin. Use this as a blush topper, use this as a highlighter. Use it how you like it. But for the inner corner, I really want to go into Rebirth. Wow, you can tell how much I use mine. Like they are messy. So I want to take Rebirth, and I'm just going to pop that right here on my inner corner. This is another Unearthly brush. And then I am wearing just a blush single. My skin is glowy. I put on a super glowy primer today, and I'm using the single blush in the shade Bloom from Unearthly. So instead of highlight, I want to use the shade Renewal as a blush topper. So I'm going to pick this up on my Unearthly brush. Let's see. And I'm just going to lightly buff that on. So I picked up a teeny tiny amount. So this is going to give me a glowy cheek without being super overpowering. So I'm just gonna lightly brush that on. And then of course I will spray my face with the setting spray after to mesh things even more. I do want to put on eyeliner, and I want to do mascara. I'm not going to do false lashes. I'm just going to do mascara, and I'm not going to do eyeliner to the top lash line. I'm just going to put a little bit in the lower waterline. So I'm doing that, and then I am wearing my lip gloss today. I layered it over this satin liquid lipstick. This is the shade Delight from Unearthly, and then I just put a little bit of my gloss on top, and I kept it to the center so that, again, it was a little more subtle. So yeah, let me throw on a little bit of liner in my waterline. Let me throw on some mascara, and I'll be back. Alright, y'all, here is the finished look. I'm really happy with this. I feel like it's still colorful, but it's a little more muted. You know, having the lighter pink, having the black and pink mixed, kind of this shimmery, sparkly lid. I am super into it, and I paired it with this more type of like brown nude lip, because I feel like with the color on the eyes, to kind of offset it a little bit, I thought it would be fun to go with something a little more muted so that the whole look is a little less bold, less in your face, less intense. I feel like this is still super fun though, super me. I'm excited to be wearing it throughout my day. I did put on just my Pat McGrath Dark Star mascara. Mine is just with the Star Wars sticker on it. And then in my lower waterline, I went in with ColourPop Best O. They're like, I forget what they call them, BFF line or something like that. But yeah, here is my look. This is totally the type of look that I would wear working at the hospital, something like that. I mean, anytime. I'm gonna be wearing it today. But yeah, I do have another look that I want to show you, but I really hope that you enjoyed this one because I am definitely super into it, if you couldn't tell. Okay, I'm back. Another day, another look. This one again on the more subtle side is what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna prime my eyes. I'm gonna use my MAC paint pot in Layin Low today. Whatever eye primer you like to use it. I just try to mix it up every once in a while for y'all. But let's see. I don't know what I want to do today. I don't really have an idea in my mind. So let me think on that for a minute. But I will tell you, I put on ColourPop lip liner in Dopey, and then I just put my gloss on top. I put down Punch Single Blush, and then I am just wearing the shade Rebirth from my highlighter duo today. So let me put on my eye primer. And I'm thinking we're going to do something very simple. I know the first look was very simple as well, which is kind of like the theme of this video. So I think what I'll do, I know we have like cool and warm tones. I've showed y'all that, but I kind of want to mix around the palette today. So I think what we'll do is we'll start with Solar Symbol. Okay, so I'm going to use my Singe Beauty brushes, and I picked up Solar Symbol, and I'm going to start on the inner corner, and then I'm going to put Solar Symbol right here on the inner part of my lid, kind of pressing it on the primer first, and then I will blend after I have this kind of pressed on. Now you can definitely like tap this on with your finger or something like that if you don't want this shade to be even this intense, but I really like kind of packing and then blending to kind of diffuse it. Okay, next we're going to jump to the top of the palette and we're going to use Creation, and I love putting shimmery shades, shifty shades with all different reflex on the lid, and I like giving them as much space as possible. So if you have a different eye shape, don't be afraid to take this shimmer up like to the brow bone. I see Layin Beauty do that a lot, and I think like her eye looks are always so beautiful and ethereal, and she'll carry a shimmer like from lash to brow, and I think that's so beautiful, especially with her eye shape. So for me, I'm gonna stop it right here, like right here at my socket, and I'm just going to be pressing it on, and then I will kind of slowly blend as needed. But I really like these two shades next to each other. I just think they pair really beautifully together. And skipping a matte in the crease or the socket or whatever you want to call it is gonna let this look be a little less intense anyways. I am getting fallout. I'm using shimmers with fluffy brushes. I did not spray my brush. I just went in with my brush to the pan to my eyes. So I'll wipe away this fallout. It's no big deal. Okay, we're sparkly, we're blendy, we're light, we're ethereal. All the sparkly words, but we're just gonna add a little matte to the outer corner, and we're gonna go in with Cerambus, my beautiful, very cool toned gray shade. So I'm gonna pick this up with my Singe Beauty brush, and it's just gonna go right out here, and then I'm just gonna swirl a little bit in the outer corner like this, and I'm gonna take this down around to the lower lash line. Nothing complicated, just a little matte Cerambus in that outer corner. I'm gonna skip liner on my top lashes. I'm just gonna put a little bit in the waterline. I'm gonna throw on some mascara, and then I will come back. But it's just 3 shades, very easy, still really pretty, still sparkly and fun without being too like intense in your face. Alright y'all, here is our finished look. I added a little bit of brown eyeliner from Melt to my waterline. I thought brown would be a good choice, like it would kind of ground this look, not be as intense as black. I went with brown. And then I put on my Pat McGrath mascara and curled my lashes. So that is this finished look. Still sparkly, still has some interesting color going on, but very soft, maybe a little more like approachable, less bold. And if I weren't filming and talking you through each step, I could finish this eye look like shadow, liner, mascara in 5 minutes or less. Like I could probably do this in 2 minutes, but I wanted to take my time and show you kind of how to create an easy eye look just using 3 shades of the palette. I hope that you enjoyed seeing this video. I know I asked y'all in my 3 looks video if you wanted to see something maybe toned down but colorful type of looks with my palette. So I hope that you did enjoy this. I'm really liking my eye look. I'm planning to spend some time outside. Eventually need to wash my hair. That day is not today, but I hope whatever you're doing, you're having an amazing day. Thank you again for watching. I will put all the launch details for this collection down in the description box. Please do subscribe. I have lots of videos coming, and I will see you then. Bye!